Hey, Gary Hewitt here from Thought Knocks, and I'd just like to take a moment and say just because you can doesn't mean that you should. So I see a lot of things in the world of marketing or the world of people who are trying to sell you marketing, all kinds of tactics. And some of them work, a lot of them work, but they work short term. They don't always work long term. And if you have a business that you're in it for the long term, when I see serial entrepreneurs and they've started like 10, 20 businesses in a row, I think to myself, well, okay, you really can't stick to one thing here. Are businesses disposable? What happens to your customers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And you're giving advice to people whose livelihood depends, the rest of their life depends on the business that they have. Again, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I'd like to, sort of make that point clear that there are techniques that do work, but you have to look at the long-term picture as to, is this building the relationship or is this just facilitating the transaction? So something to think about, which is what Thought Knocks is all about. Are you focused on the transaction? Are you focused on the relationship? Are you focused on the long-term well-being of your customer? Because the science has actually proven that companies that focus on that actually do better, no matter what size they are, than companies that don't. It seems obvious, you'd think everybody would get it, but apparently no. There's just a lot of short-sightedness, all in the name of the shareholder for a lot of big companies, which has been proven wrong many, many times. Companies that focus on the customer are the ones that survive and weather the big storms. So again, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. So something to think about.